Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate you new listeners for joining us, and if you're coming back, welcome back to the show.
You know that they can put cannabis in drinks now?
I did not.
Yeah, man.
You mean legally or?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course they could do it legally in legal states, but I mean, like here you can buy CBD like in liquid.
In a drink.
In a drink, like a fucking energy drink or something, which I think is probably a bad idea.
But the opposite.
It's probably a bad idea, but whatever.
We're doing what?
Powdered cannabis in your drink.
Like a Propel packet?
Sure.
You're shitting me.
No.
Huh.
No, I could probably go find one on a website somewhere right now.
I don't doubt it.
Speaking of eggs.
Eggs?
What?
Who's talking about eggs?
Speaking of eggs.
This fucking guy.
Yeah. 6 eggs was $4.25.
Yeah, but you shop down there with them highfalutin people, okay? You got to go to the poor people's store.
She went to the Dollar General and got some.
Oh, that's...
Buying eggs at the Dollar General?
Well, she was
Are you
desperate.
sure they're from a chicken?
Yeah, a couple of them just look like oversized quail eggs, but...
You got iguanas.
Yeah. Man, I can't even get liquid chicken cheap.
I guess you need to build you a chicken coop.
I should have done that when I was lifting.
Yeah. Fuck that. Chickens are a pain in the ass.
Depends on how you set them up. We had chickens growing up, and I don't remember. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe my mom was fucking with them all the time. I don't know. But, I mean, I'd go in there and feed them, get the eggs, and pretty much just left them the fuck alone.
What did y'all do with the egg prep? You leave them alone till you cook them, or you remember?
Yeah, we wouldn't.
You didn't pre-wash? You just washed them right before you used them?
Yeah, you can't wash them.
Pretty much.
Unless you homogenize or pasteurize, you can't wash them. That's why I don't like them. Freaking Tara will bring chicken because she's got a shit ton of chickens, and she would bring eggs up to the center for me to cook for the firefighters.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, you fucking wash them nasty things before we crack them. I ain't touching them.
Well, once the poop's been refrigerated, it's fine. Yeah.
It's like my niece saying that we were at the store that time, and she's like, "No, I want chicken." And I'm like, "This is chicken." She goes, "No, Chick-fil-A, that's chicken."
Yeah,
it's God's chicken.
That's right, God's chicken.
Probably so. Today on International Women's Day, they gave the award for courage to a biological male.
You can't make this shit up. It's just like when people had fucking the woman of the year is fucking Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. Or yeah, what was it? It was like person. Yeah, woman of the year. It was
woman of the year. That's why everybody freaked out. They're like, Jesus Christ.
I don't understand why they're trying to set back women so far.
We're setting everything back, dude, from race to gender to we're setting it all back. This whole generation's got it all out of whack as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I feel bad for my kids. I feel bad for my son. I feel bad for my daughter.
Mine.
You better do a fucking background check before you mess with anybody.
Yeah, no shit.
Just pay the money.
You think you bought a taco, you're going to end up with a sausage.
I mean, you just don't know. And then you can't expect these people to be honest with you. They're already...
Can't disagree with you.
So, I don't know. I thought that was wild. Then they had the whole January 6th meltdown again yesterday.
After Tucker posted all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been following that.
I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. He sent it to me on Facebook because we were talking about last night. He's like, you see what Tucker released? Those so-called riots and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't heard anything about it. And He sent it to me, so I watched it, and I was like, because the one guard, the state police, was he a state police or Capitol Police?
Capitol Police.
That supposedly got killed by a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
In the Capitol, and they're saying, no, he didn't. We got him walking around right here. I don't know how he died. He died somehow. Apparently he's dead. So how did he die then?
You're right. How about someone explain how an unarmed woman died by hired guns?
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
what are we talking about?
The same thing. The one lady got shot by a security guard, hired security by one of the Congress women or men, whomever.
No,
he wasn't Capitol Police.
He was Capitol Police.
Was he? They kept saying for the longest time he was security guard, private security.
Well, it's one lie among many lies that they've told.
Right about that.
But yeah, no, he was, from my understanding, I could be wrong, but from my understanding, he was Capitol Police. And I don't know why she got shot. I think there was footage of that at one point, maybe out there somewhere.
I'm sure there's plenty of footage. If it ever get released, it's a better question.
I knew as soon as the word insurrection started getting thrown around that something was off because it didn't make any sense. And on top of that, there was some video out there that they didn't edit some things out where you could see, because originally when this all started, the protesters were not that close to the building. They were way further back. And there's one clip out there that the media kept playing over and over again, but nobody was really catching it. Nobody was talking about it. You can see the police remove the barricades and just let people through.
Yeah, I saw that.
And nobody's talking about it. I'm like, well, why did they remove the barricades? What if you're going to shoot tear gas into the protesters? Why remove the barricade? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Why has no one pulled Nancy Pelosi out and asked her why she denied the security request for additional security prior to January 6th?
They also denied the National Guard coming in.
Correct.
I don't know. Again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's some people that have been jailed since. There's some people that are sitting in prison because of it.
They got 40,000 hours of camera footage. That's a lot of cameras.
Yeah.
They have 40,000 hours.
I would hope the Capitol has.
I was going to say, if anybody's got cameras.
Plenty of cameras. And they also said they edited in sound that wasn't there. So the CCTV footage is not
authentic.
It doesn't have sound, and they edited in on their clips, and that they were spewing out there originally. They edited in sound for dramatic effect to make it worse than it was, which is pretty wild. It's pretty lengthy, and it's one thing. Okay, when you're talking about politicians. It's one thing for the left or the right to come out and say, hey, we don't condone this or we condemn this. When they both minority and majority speakers or whatever they are, leaders or douchebags come out and say, hey, this is probably not a good idea. Something's up. And it's probably true. Not that it's not a good idea, but whatever you're about to see is probably true. Yeah. It's no different than what Chuck Schumer told Donald Trump in the Oval Office. It's like, hey, you don't want to piss these people off. You don't want to piss the CIA off. You don't want to piss the guys in black suits off. You don't want to do that. So it's very clear that they're hiding something.
Whatever happened.
Yeah, whatever really happened. And the only people who know that are the ones who were actually there.
And why it happened.
Yeah. They want to blame Trump. They wanted to hang Trump.
They are blaming Trump.
Oh yeah. Well, they did, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he probably needs to take some of the blame because the dude, the way he talks, he knows how to fire up some people, and you fire up the right kind to people,
Yeah.
and you end up with a situation like that. It's no different than BLM, Black Lives Matter, and those protests. They know who to fire up, and they know exactly what to say. They know exactly how to incite, panic and all that stuff. They know
Outrage.
exactly how to do all that. If there's something the
They
U.S.
took your
government
money,
is,
right? No.
yeah, it's something the U.S. government is good at is psychological warfare on its own people.
Yep. Check out chat. I've never seen this report before. Died of natural causes.
Oh yeah. I think that was in Tucker Carlson's thing too.
That's April 19th, 2021. Why was this not released? And why is a committee in Congress lying about this? Why are they dragging this man's name through the mud?
They had a whole memorial for this guy.
They weren't dragging it through the mud. They were idolized, saying he died.
They martyred someone.
Yeah, they martyred him.
This is wrong.
They're saying he got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the riots, and that's what killed him.
The other thing is like, why wouldn't you release this footage? I've seen this take. Why wouldn't you release the footage for the people who were trying to defend themselves in these trials? You didn't give them all of the evidence that maybe could have exonerated them. I thought the government had a duty to do that.
He had duties to do a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I try not to look to the government to do fucking shit for me, but
no, I wouldn't rely on them. That's for sure.
That's the problem. So people rely on them.
I mean, a lot of people scream and fight and fuss about, I don't want the government in my business about this, that, and the other thing. And then they turn right around and vote to have more government involved in everything.
Well, that's like the crazy woman, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She had the idea that if you came from a blue state, say to Georgia, you don't get to vote in state elections for 5 years.
What?
I know
that's not how that works.
I know that's not how it works. However, the problem is they come to these states like Georgia or Texas, and they continue voting for the same policies that they're running from.
Yes,
yeah.
But even here, like, I have my issues with Georgia, and it's a red state. But we have a lot of laws that I just don't agree with. And if I was going to move somewhere, it'd be Florida. Florida's the freest state in the union as it pertains to regulations, laws, and things like that. Plus no state income tax.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. Tennessee doesn't have a state income tax either. I didn't know that.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of states that don't have income tax.
Yeah. But now I know of 3.
Georgia was moving towards it, but they've slowed down.
I wish they would. Get on that fucking train.
Yeah, no shit.
I pay more. Never mind. We've had that conversation.
Yeah, no shit.
Taxes.
Yeah, well.
It's such a broken system.
Oh, it's beyond broken.
There's 8 states that don't have income tax. Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming.
Well, Nevada doesn't need it because they make billions off the casinos.
Yeah, it's usually high tourist states. That's why I like Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, where Mount Rushmore and all that shit is. Tennessee, Texas.
Well, Florida did the smart thing of putting tolls around all the amusement parks.
Well, the Turnpike was only supposed to be a toll road for, we've had that conversation, but it was only supposed to be a toll. When they sold it, it was only supposed to be a toll road till they paid for the road. And then they realized how much fucking money they were making. And they were like, never mind, we're just going to keep it. Now they're making even more money because they don't have to have toll booth operators. They just have SunPass. You don't have to have anybody work it. We'll just take money.
Yeah. If you don't have SunPass, we will send you a bill in the mail.
Yep. I'll bill you by your license plate. But it's a huge moneymaker now. That's a big revenue stream. I wonder what the numbers are on that.
I was when I lived down there and working in Orlando, it kind of evened out for me. I was paying about the same in tolls as I would have in taxes in Georgia at the time.
Is that that's not the primary offset though. It's the gas is a little higher in Florida.
The gas is a little bit higher. So, I mean, they got their money one way or another.
They're making it work. This grocery store ain't I can't say it's that much different than here.
No. I mean, I only had access to Walmart, Winn-Dixie, and Publix down there.
So let's see.
Publix was the BOGO king. So.
Through a public records request, Florida's Turnpike and Expressway system between March 1st and October 31st of 2019, they collected $718 million in tolls. God damn.
Plus, they
How
have the
much?
amusement. They have the amusement parks. They make money off of that.
Well, this is just tolls in the
Yeah.
expressways.
You said 17?
718 million
708. Wow.
during 2020. In those same months, it dropped to 529 million because nobody was traveling.
No wonder they like them in Georgia, even though they create more traffic. Free money.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been of the belief from day one that if I have to pay for it, because you have to build the damn thing based off the taxpayer's dollar, I should get to ride it for free and everyone else has to pay.
I've been tempted to get one.
Oh,
For Georgia.
it's the biggest scam. It's worse than damn pyramid scheme. Started off at like 15 cents and there's like, I think it's like 45, 50 cents most of the time. But as soon as traffic kicks in, it goes over $1, $2, $2.50. What kind of scam is that?
Yeah,
That's as bad as hotels jacking the price up off of algorithm because people are searching.
Yeah, in Florida, it was. I mean, the tolls were different at different places. However, it was. I mean, it was set. So, like, if you had a set route, like I did, you knew what you were going to pay every day. So I was paying $3 a day to go round trip. I passed 2 tolls. They were 75 cents each with SunPass.
But it's like the Ticketmaster scam.
Oh yeah, that's a huge scam.
Why people are not rioting or just protesting by not going to any events to shut down Ticketmaster's bullshit is beyond me. We ended up calling the box office. We needed 4 tickets to a hockey game. There was 5 seats open in the section we wanted in a row. We only needed 4. The computer wouldn't let us buy it because it left 1 seat open. Well, you're going to have 1 seat open either way. So it's either he's got to sit in the aisle or he's going to sit in someone's lap. So your algorithm is fucking broke. But it was $180 for 4 tickets. We called the box office.
What was the price of the ticket?
$33.
Damn.
Called the box office. Got a discounted price of, I think it was $81 or $84. And it comes to your phone just like Ticketmaster. And got a free hot dog and a drink with it just by getting rid of Ticketmaster.
You should just tell my wife to win the tickets for you.
She win tickets all the time.
Fuck yeah, she's fucking good at it.
Hell, this is for out in Greenville. This ain't even Atlanta. It's cheaper for me to get a hotel room in Greenville, buy the tickets by calling the box office, than using just Ticketmaster. And the drive's about the same time frame for me.
Yeah, their fees are ridiculous. But hey, Joe Biden's going to tackle that. He's going to take care of it.
The government's right there doing the same shit.
He couldn't tackle a fucking beanbag.
He said the other day they cut the top of his head off and they had to check some things.
Yeah, check and see if he had a brain.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. They cut mine off, reattached it, but they kind of sort of did. But
well, that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, so when I got home Saturday, I was dead to the world. I just passed the fuck out. But I talked to the boy the next morning. He watched the fight, the John Jones fight, on his phone for free. Somebody was streaming it on TikTok, so he watched it. But we got to talking about it, and he was like, he's like, John Jones did exactly what he said he was going to do, because he said he studied a bunch of game tape and said the boy can't wrestle, so I'm just going to lay on him till he fucks up. And it's pretty much exactly what he did.
Didn't take long.
Nope. I missed it.
How long was that fight? A minute? Minute and a
2
half?
minutes, 9 seconds.
2:09.
Because I turned after he started to put that guillotine on him at first. And then I turned away. I think I was talking to you, Jason. I might have been talking to you, or I don't know, maybe Tater, but And then I looked back up and John Jones was getting up and walking away. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? He tapped him out.
I mean, it happened that fast. If you weren't looking, you blinked, you missed it.
Yeah, because that was a nasty choke, though. He had his fist buried up in his throat.
Apparently, it must have been bad because, like Lyle said, he didn't have it in there long, and that boy tapped quick. He was like, nope, fuck that.
Yeah. And the other one that surprised me, and not to discredit the other lady, but Balachinka, I've never seen her get, she
felt really timid.
Yeah, it seemed odd to me. Like, I don't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But they had the audacity. On Monday, they put out the pound for pound rankings, and they had the audacity to put John Jones at like third. I was like, really? You got to be kidding me. John Jones is the pound for pound king, has been and will be.
Even with a little pudge, he's pound for pound.
Yeah. I don't know that there's ever going to be another fighter that's going to be able to do what he's done. Even, I mean, you could talk about Khabib being 26, 27, 28, whatever, 29, whatever it was. But Khabib had the title and defended it like 3 times, twice against the same guy. And none of the guys he fought, at least to my knowledge, were like, number one contenders on a consistent basis. John Jones ran through the light heavyweight division like a fucking buzzsaw.
Yeah.
And then told the light heavyweight division, y'all just aren't good enough. I'm going to move up. Jason, you going to watch that documentary?
Which one? MH
370.
Well, you said it was on Netflix?
Yeah.
I don't have it. We'd have to do a watch party or something. Is there anything in lighting to it, or is it just a summary?
It's pretty much just a summary, and you can kind of tell that no one had a clue what they were doing.
What's it called?
MH370.
The plane?
The Malaysian flight that disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, you could just...
they never did find it, did they?
No.
But they said there was, and this is something that I missed, was the reason they knew the plane turned back and then went one way or the other, or at least this is what they told the public, is because there was a satellite that was communicating with a piece of equipment that was on the plane. It wasn't necessarily part of the plane, but it was communicating with a piece of equipment that was
somebody fired their
the maintenance equipment,
something like that. But
because they were talking about that early on, and everyone got real quiet about it because Boeing did not have a maintenance contract for data logging the maintenance on that aircraft, and they may have been doing it, and that went quiet quickly. So it's towed. I don't know that for a fact, but that was the way it was reported in the news media.
Yeah.
I think Boeing knew what happened because they were getting data from the plane.
Possible.
So if you want a conspiracy theory, I'd bet your ass Boeing knows what happened to that plane.
I'm telling you, man, they passed into a different dimension.
They go. I can't believe with all the technology we have right now, in 9 years, we couldn't find that fucking plane.
The plane going down and not finding it in that part of the world, okay. It's going to take a while. Look how long it took us to find the Titanic. But
there was
the telemetry coming from the plane should tell a story that needs to be told to just the families. You know what I mean? And I don't think that has ever come out.
No. There was one lady on the documentary who was looking at satellite images as because they at one point they asked for help, and there was some company, Todd Nom, something like that, who was had their own satellites, and they were like giving people specific areas to just look at, just images. And this one lady thought she found the plane on the images, and no one ever followed up.
Yeah. So if she did see an image prior to impact of water, the currents like it is in that area, it could be hundreds of miles away by the time someone actually followed up.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the technology that we have today, I can't believe that we can't find that plane.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, if Google can take a picture from the street
Right.
of my house.
I tend to believe Lyle's version, and that motherfucker went to another dimension because there's no fucking way that we can't find that plane.
A modern aircraft. I mean, look at all
Modern aircraft with all the tech. Like, yeah, it took 70 years to find the fucking Titanic, but it was the goddamn 20s or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
That's when the bitch went down. We didn't have shit.
I mean, look at everything that we log in our line of business. Everything.
Exactly.
Even the keystrokes.
I mean, some of these fucking satellites, you can see a gnat fart at 70,000 miles. We can't find a plane with 270 fucking bodies on it.
Well, you remember back when Bush was in office, when they, this is like, high level satellite images, and they showed a representation of a photo. If it was real or not, I don't know. But they had zoomed in and you could read the New York Times date on the newspaper.
That's another thing. Did they ever find any bodies or anything? Did they find debris?
They didn't
find anything.
They found some debris that washed up somewhere. They think was from the aircraft.
They think they don't know.
It was some panels or something like that were similar to
verified. Oh no, it was similar to. Okay.
Similar to. I don't know if it was 100% verified.
Because I mean, not one. Something's. What did you watch the documentary?
I did, yeah.
How was it? Did it end like with just, I guess we'll never know, or did a bunch of people have a bunch of different theories?
Just a bunch of different theories, man. I mean, they came to the conclusion that the plane eventually turned south into the Indian Ocean and would have run out of fuel.
For no reason?
Yeah, for no reason, and would have run out of fuel and crashed into the Indian Ocean somewhere.
How long was it flying?
8 hours or so. Had about 8 hours worth of fuel. The original flight was from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing.
Which is how long of a flight?
6 hours, I think. Something like that. They should have been on the ground by 6 a.m. Beijing time.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, something really sketch about that.
Well, it's also like the Bermuda Triangle, They've said that shit just gone missing going through that area.
Back in the day, it was a hell of a lot more prominent, like back when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Bermuda Triangle.
It's just technology.
Yeah.
Why is it that you can turn the pilots can turn the tracking system off?
I didn't know they could.
On a commercial aircraft?
I guess everything's got fucking power. Everything's got a power button, I guess.
I mean, I don't know that
I don't know why you'd want to.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're hijacking a plane, but
they had to have, because this is kind of conclusive. They pretty much, originally they had the plane just lost contact at this one point. It just went dark. And then military radar picked it up. And that's how they determined that it made a turn. Then they realized that this company had satellite communications with the plane going into the Indian Ocean. So, I don't know. They had to have turned it off somehow.
Or it broke, malfunctioned, whatever.
They searched for a while looking for the transponder from the black box, because it goes off constantly till the battery dies. Because they did several grids out in the Indian Ocean and didn't find anything, or didn't pick up, the ping.
Yeah. Well, they did the South China Sea. That's where they started, because that's where they lost contact. That's also where the lady thought she saw the debris from the plane from satellite images. I don't know. It's
the Indian Ocean?
Yeah. Are you looking at a map?
Yeah. Okay. So Kuala Lumpur to Beijing is directly north.
Right.
Pretty much over Cambodia, Vietnam. You go through over most of China, unless you just stay over the South China Sea, stay over the ocean and go around. The Indian Ocean is directly fucking south of Kuala Lumpur.
Yes.
Right.
It seems to be the consensus.
So they were going in the fucking opposite direction of Beijing for whatever reason.
Yeah. It was heading northeast, and then they lost contact with it, and they said it made a U-turn, went back over Malaysia into the Andaman Sea, and then at some point between where that little strip of islands is,
Yeah.
they assume that it turns south.
Well, that's just fucking weird. That they must have just lost all. Somebody either it was, I don't know. That don't make no damn sense whatsoever.
No, none of it makes sense. One of the world's greatest mysteries.
I mean, granted, the Indian Ocean is fucking massive, but I don't know how we could find it. It just don't make sense to me, man.
I've also heard there's an ancient civilization that's frozen underneath Antarctica. So
okay, so there we go.
Yeah,
that explains it.
You never know.
You really don't.
No, you don't. And I would not dispute that one with what we have found in places where it should not be.
I firmly believe we were not the first ones here
on the planet.
Now, when you say that, well, never mind.
I mean, there's just too much speculation for me, depending on what book you read, which god you worship. Where is Area 51? Nevada?
Yeah. Just above Las Vegas.
Oh, man. Should have fucking went and visited last time I was out there. You remember when them idiots were going to storm Area 51?
It wouldn't get very far.
They decided against that.
Yeah, I think they decided that was
because I think for one, it's a really long you got a long way to go to get to it.
I can believe that.
From pretty much any road, it's a fucking haul. There's that, what do you call it? Something, what is it? Alien Airlines or some shit. They fly them in there every day.
They got a baseball field.
Area 51.
Yeah, you think they're playing with the aliens?
Probably. They're probably pretty good. Probably got more than one arm.
Some other strange things going on out there. You can't tell what they are.
On a different note, has anyone caught the Mando episode?
Yeah, I watched it.
I did too. What do you think?
Good stuff. I love that damn show.
I'm catching up on Andor, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I couldn't get past like the second episode. I watched one and I was like, this is boring as fuck.
I think I'm past 5. I got 6 queued up, but
it was so boring to me. I was like, I'm not that into this lore. It was rough. But my uncle said the same thing. He goes, once you get about 4 or 5 episodes in, it starts getting better. And I'm like, okay, I didn't give it that much.
Yeah, the action picks up and it ramps up in 5, and then I presume 6 is similar. And it looks like the script turns into another page after that particular event. It's not bad. I haven't turned it off, but I do enjoy the backstories, like the Solo and all that. I think they need to do more of that, the in between stuff, because some of this cartoon series they've done, even though a lot of people rave about them, I just cannot. I guess I'm too old to watch the cartoon versions to get the in between stories.
Yeah.
I start one and I'm like playing with my phone.
Yeah. Well, the Clone Wars probably tied a lot of it together.
Yeah. A lot of people say that, but I just can't get through the cartoon version of the Clone Wars.
No, me either. I watched 2 or 3 episodes and it's like, okay.
I like to see another season of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
To see where that ends.
I like that one. Got it. Well, I would think that one would end right there before
episode 1, or what is it?
Yeah. New
Hope.
New Hope, yeah. Did you see the coordinated attack on the Atlanta police facility this past week?
Yeah, I was talking about that last night at dinner.
Is that the one you showed me, or is this a different attack?
I think it's probably the same one.
That's the same one.
Antifa.
Freaking idiots.
Is this the one where you were showing me where there was only 2 people from the state of Georgia involved in this organized activity?
That they caught, yeah. Everybody else was out of towners, a couple internationalers.
Yeah, 35 people were arrested. 2 of them are from Georgia.
That is pretty wild.
One of them was from France.
France?
Yeah. One from Canada, 1 or more from Canada.
That was a Canadian that was in the Pelosi's home.
With the hammer?
Yeah. It attacked them after the police got there. That was another construed truth.
I've never been possessed to do something like that. I don't know what would drive somebody to do something like that.
I don't either. Which I guess you really shouldn't know.
No. I mean, even when I was hanging around with nefarious people doing nefarious things.
Yeah.
It's never.
No, that didn't cross our minds. We were always just being mischievous. We never wanted to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Just wanted to find a nice, quiet place to smoke a joint.
Exactly.
And then hit every fucking fast food. I remember one night, God, I hope my kids don't ever listen to this. I remember one night when we went out and smoked, we were just out. There was a bunch of us in a car, 4 or 5 of us. We're driving around just getting high, smoking pot, chilling out. And we decided we were going to try and hit every fast food restaurant in town and get like at least one item.
Yeah.
We go through the Taco Bell, get a fucking burrito, then we went straight to a McDonald's and got a fucking cheeseburger, then straight to fucking Burger King and got a Whopper, and straight to fucking KFC. And then we were just driving to just getting fat, stupid. Oh God, it was so much fun.
Yeah. Taco
Until we
Bell,
ran out
Taco
of
Bell is
money.
my go-to.
Yeah.
But
back then, get what?
Get a chicken quesadilla, 2 soft tacos, and some cinnamon twists for like $5.
My jam was the fucking chili cheese burrito, and that motherfucker was only 89 cents. Like, give me 2 chili cheese burritos, baby. And I fucking slam them things.
I mean, shit, you could get 100 soft tacos for like $10.
Right. Well, back then also, so everybody chip in, you could fill your fucking gas tank up for $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was $10. You could drive around all fucking night, and Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, they were all cheap as shit. You could get a shit ton of food for $15-$20. You fill a car full of food for $15-$20. Not anymore, man. Jesus.
That was the hardest part for us, was just finding somewhere to hang out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, your
fault.
age probably, yeah, because we fucked that up for you.
I had a buddy that had a blacked out panel van. It was a 66.
A fucking kidnap mobile?
Oh, yeah. It had, I think it was originally an ambulance, military ambulance, because it had glass all the way around.
Do you keep candy in it?
I mean, it was blacked out. The windows were blacked out all the way around. No seats in the back. So we could get 15, 20 men in the back of this thing, and he would pull up in this thing and start talking shit to people in parking lots and get fights started. And we would kick the back door open and start, it looked like a fucking clown car.
Like a bunch of fucking Mexicans jumping out. I got you.
Oh, yeah. It was fucking awesome. We had welded a skid plate on the back of it because with that much weight in the back, it took nothing to get it on 2 wheels and just scrape the skid plate across a parking lot. Oh, that was so much fucking fun.
But it's the thing, like, we had nowhere to hang out, so you end up just driving around doing all the stupid shit, you know?
Yeah, because they probably stopped
all the time.
The parking lot cruise, except for car shows when you were growing up. Because we would just take over parking lots, and people would, it looked like Panama City in a parking lot local.
Yeah. We had the whole, the old Kmart. That's what we used to talk about. You going to Kmart? You going to Kmart parking lot at night? Everybody gonna beat up at Kmart.
Yeah.
It's fucking, you go up there, stand around the cars. Nobody had a fucking nice car. Like, maybe one person had a nice car. And everybody's, you know, or it was showing off your speakers or whatever.
Yeah, the speakers was the thing, but, you know.
I pulled up in that motherfucker. We pulled up one time in an Astro van. That shit was hilarious.
Nice.
Asked the guy if he wanted to race. Thing goes 0 to 60 in 15 seconds.
You want to go? I'll see you at the next light eventually.
I asked the wrong guy because he didn't think it was funny.
No,
he didn't. He started walking towards the car, and I told my buddy to. Like, hey,
we need to go.
We need to go. This fella don't think we're funny at all.
Please, if anybody has any questions or comments, hit us up at primecohesion@gmail.com or head to our Facebook page at Prime Cohesion on Facebook and leave your comments. We'd appreciate it.